Welcome to Conversations Live. For more than a decade, we've brought you the best in books, entertainment, celebrity interviews, and current events. When the movers and shakers of the world have something to say to you, they say it to us first. Here's your host, Cyrus Webb.
And welcome back, everyone, to Conversations Live. I'm your host, Cyrus Webb. Glad you all could join us once again, both for those tuning in on the community station at WYAD 94.1 FM and WYADonline.com. We're glad that you all could be with us. Also, those joining us from online affiliates around the world, we're glad you all could be with us as well. I'm excited to welcome Lakeasha Williams to our program today. Lakeasha and I actually connected in 2021. She now has a brand new book that's out on Amazon. It's already an Amazon bestseller. It's a book that's written with children in mind, but has a great message, I think, for all of us. The book is called Shine On, Brown Girl. We'll talk to Lakeasha not only about the writing of the book, but also what it's been like for her to already see the response to it, and of course that you guys know how to stay connected with her as well. Lakeasha, thank you so much for the time. Really appreciate it.
Thank you. I'm so excited to be here.
Well, Lakeasha, this is our first live interview that we've had since the book was, one, officially out, and two, of course, within a very short period of time, became an Amazon bestseller. What has this past week been like for you since the book's actual release?
Wow. This week has been just an array of all types of emotions because I kind of feel like I've given birth. And we know when we give birth to something, we know that it's, you're filled with all types of emotions, happiness, sadness, struggle. But in the end, you have your beautiful baby for you to love for life. And for me, my baby is finally here, Shine On, Brown Girl. And it's just so much more than I even imagined.
So, and I think this is an interesting thing for us to talk about, Lakeasha, because, there's so many things that are happening in the world right now, but it's great to be able to have a message that is inspiring. The illustrations that couple the words are another thing that's just totally amazing. What was it like for you? Because I saw you in the pre-promotion for the book. What was it like for you to kind of see it all come together once you actually were able to hold the book for yourself?
It's an absolutely beautiful and amazing feeling. As you said, lots of work went into this, and to see everything come to fruition with all of the Shine On Brown girls, whether, they're 5 or 25 or 55, the message has resonated with so many women, here in the United States as well as, some of my international connections as well. So to see everything come full circle and actually live out this moment is truly beyond words.
So take us back then a little bit, Lakeasha, because for our radio audience here in Mississippi, our online audience tuning in all over the world, some of them may just now be being introduced to you. When did you first realize that you had something that you were meant to share with others? When did you realize you had a gift that was meant to be shared?
Well, I always knew I had a gift. But at this magnitude, I've always been a community person. I've done things, being a principal here in Brooklyn, New York City, I knew the importance of the power of partnerships and connecting with different organizations within the community to support my children and families. I knew that was important and that was key. But during the election of the Biden-Harris ticket, when Kamala Harris became vice president, I did an activity with the girls in my school, black and brown little girls in my school, and I did an activity with them where we recited a poem, Brown Girl, Brown Girl. And we always do things with our children to help them just realize who they are as individuals and the greatness that they possess within them. But this particular incident went viral. It went viral, I feel, for two important reasons. One reason it went viral is there are a large number of people who felt that how dare I affirm black and brown children. They felt that I should have been fired. I received death threats for doing the activity with the children. And, of course, that was very concerning to me. However, on the flip side of it, there were so many people who reached out to me, and who was happy as a result of that activity because they saw themselves, right? Throughout New York City, people were talking about that activity. And seriously, someone from Italy reached out to me. They wrote about us, in a paper in India. And so what that experience said to me was, you know what? Black and brown women around the world feel invisible. So it was the importance of representation. Representation matters. When you have people in all facets of our society who look like you, it gives not only little girls encouragement and hope, but also, shine on brown women, right? It gives us hope as well, and just a feeling of pride and accomplishment, which is the first step of anyone living up to their fullest potential. Like, you have to feel good about you. So when I experienced that, I said to myself, I have to do so much more, because I do live life with the mentality of I want to be a part of the solution. I want to be a part of bringing folks together and helping to heal the world and just bringing about an understanding of all people. And so I'm an educator, I'm a speaker as well, and I'm a writer, but I never published a book. So after this experience, I said, you know what, I need to write a book. And hence, we have Shine On, Brown Girl, Amazon bestseller today.
Yeah. A couple of things you mentioned there, Lakeasha, I want to go back to, because I think, for some people, and we actually see this in Layla, we see it in Shine On, Brown Girl with the main character, that her greatness is reaffirmed to her from those around her, right? Unfortunately, though, we do live in a world, and I think you bring up an interesting thing here, where that is not always the case. How does that feel to be, in many instances, the main person in a child's life that is letting them know what they can do and who they are, as opposed to others who may tell them what they can't do and who they aren't?
Again, I feel that all of us, every single last person walking this earth, have unique gifts and talents. Sometimes we don't always realize it, but each and every one of us possess that. And I sincerely believe that. And being an educator, long-term educator, someone who works with children, even just thinking about my lived experiences and different things that I went through growing up, in the poor sections of Brooklyn, New York, I understand the importance of making sure that our children have hope. So I'm a social justice person as well. And when we look at all of the social issues that plague our communities across this country and around the world, I really and truly, it's all attributed to a lack of understanding, a lack of children and families having their basic needs met. And all of it is really connected. And so in order for us to get to, and I oftentimes talk about Maslow's hierarchy of needs, in order for us to get into that path of self-actualization so that we are in a place that we can give back to the world to help uplift the world, we have to first take care of self. But if we don't feel good about who we are as individuals, and if we don't have a sense of belonging, if there's food insecurity issues and homelessness, et cetera, if we're still dealing with those social issues, then we cannot even think about making sure education is a priority or making sure we're on that path of self-actualization, which is really just a matter of continued evolution, which I feel is a lifelong process. So before I could get to children passing a test, I have to make sure my children feel good about who they are. And when you feel good about who you are, then you can share your gifts and talents with the world.
Such a great point. For those who are just tuning in, you're listening to Conversations Live here in your community station, WYAD 94.1 FM and WYADonline.com, including our online affiliates. Definitely want to shout out our friends at Amazon Music as well. We're speaking with Lakeasha Williams today. She's celebrating her #1 release on Amazon, Shine On Brown Girl. So we talked about a little bit about the backstory here, Lakeasha. Let's talk about Layla. How did Layla come to you?
Layla came to me as a combination of, again, my personal experiences as a brown girl, growing up in New York City, in the United States of America. She also came to me as a result of working with our children, in my school and in many different community partnerships that I have, and just seeing that even in the 21st century, our children are still plagued with these issues. They're still plagued with these issues. So Layla is the first main character in the first series, of books that I plan to do just to explore our stories, right? Because we do have books that have black and brown characters, but not necessarily the experiences that our children are faced with today. And I just want to be able to bring light to that so we can have the necessary conversations, again, to uplift our children, affirm our children, but also share our cultural norms with the world, in an attempt to gain understanding and tolerance of others. So diversity, equity, inclusion is all of that is woven into the character of Layla in the book Shine On Brown Girl.
One of the things that stuck out to me, Lakeasha, and I haven't said this to you actually before this interview, but the thing that stuck out to me was not only what we saw Layla go through, but what her friend Mariah was able to do for her. Mariah was not someone who necessarily looked like her, but was able to still let her know that she was valued, that she was seen. Why was that important for you to include?
It was definitely important for me to include because, again, I want our children to feel empowered and know that we have the power collectively to combat some of these situations that we're faced with on a daily basis. So when we say together we're stronger, like it's not cliche, but it's really and truly a fact. But we have to exercise that behavior on a day-to-day basis. So what I do with any child that I come into contact with, again, is give them the necessary tools and resources that they need, not only for when they grow up. Oftentimes I feel like we talk to our children about, when you get older, you could do this, you could do that. No, they need to do it now. We need to give them the necessary strategies that they can, tap into now and develop the skill sets that they need so that they can, be as successful as they possibly can when they get older. So, yes, Mariah was purposely done because I want all of our children to feel empowered from a very early age and to also teach them how to be a friend to someone, how to have those empathy skills and the importance of having empathy for others. Because once our children have empathy for others, again, I'm a social justice person, and when we talk about the crime statistics that plague our, young children, it's oftentimes, there's so many things that go into it, but the most important thing to me is our children lack empathy skills. So it is a matter of helping our children from a very young age develop those empathy skills that when someone else is hurting, it may not be you, we should feel something, right? Because that's what humanity is all about. Like, we should feel something when someone else is hurting.
Such a great point. So social media is a big way that you've been able to talk even before the book came out. Lakeasha, what has that avenue been like for you? I'll call it that. What has that avenue been like for you to be able to have a way for you to be able to connect with people and to rally people together online?
Again, you have to use every platform that you can. And social media, is a platform that is free.
Yeah.
And, I think because my content, resonates with with folks. So I definitely use it to my advantage to just spread the message of the importance of, like I said, empathy, diversity and inclusion, community, love, support, all of that, but also balanced living. I think my social media is a reflection of that, and I definitely use it to my advantage.
So what should we expect from you next? And the first book of this series is out now, Lakeasha. What should we, as we are now beginning this new year and a new month, depending on how our audience is joining us, what are you looking forward to bringing in 2022?
So in 2022, I'm definitely looking to explore some additional platforms, for Shine On Brown Girl, beyond even writing books. Just doing some extension activities with the importance of, the different concepts that have come about from Shine On Brown Girl. One being the importance of fathers and that father-daughter bond, because in the book we see a connection with Layla and her dad. Again, more stories to represent our children. So Shine On Brown Boy, is also something that I'm looking forward to as well in 2022.
Nice.
So those are some two very, just be on the lookout for that, Shine On Brown Girl's different platforms, but continuing with that message. And the next book in the series, Shine On Brown Boy, because I am boy mom, so I'm not leaving out the boy.
Yeah. Love it. Well, it gives us something to look forward to. Again, everyone, Lakeasha Williams has been our guest. A great conversation with you, Lakeasha. Make sure you guys head over to Amazon now and get Shine On Brown Girl for yourself. You definitely don't want to miss out on this. It's an inspiring book. I said in my review on Amazon, it's written for kids, but us adults can get a lot from it as well. So make sure you'll take advantage of that. And, Lakeasha, how can they stay connected with you and all the great work that you're doing?
You can definitely follow me on Instagram at principal_Shine On Lakeasha, as well as my company, which is Brick House Unlimited, and that's www.brickhouseunlimited.com.
Lakeasha, congratulations to you again. So glad we had a chance to chat today, and looking forward to our next conversation together.
Yes, thank you so much for having me. And again, I'm just excited about everything that has transpired with Shine On Brown Girl in just 1 week. So very excited about that. Again, make sure you head over to Amazon and purchase that book. Matter of fact, purchase several copies.
There you go. I see you encouraging that. Well, we're excited for you, Lakeasha. We know this is only the beginning, so we definitely invite our audience to get their copy of Shine On Brown Girl for sure. And we thank you, our audience, for tuning in to another great segment of Conversations Live. Until next time, I'm your host, Cyrus Webb, saying as always, enjoy your day, enjoy your life, enjoy your world. Thank you all for choosing Conversations Live. Now let's go make today amazing. Take care.